Hey everyone, thanks for joining me in this video. I have a very cool product to show off today. If you have not heard about Cricut's Infusible Ink, well, let me be the first one to introduce you to a revolutionary new product introduced by Cricut. So I will tell you all about it. We're going to jump into the overhead camera and show it off. All right, so today we are going to start with the new Cricut Infusible Ink Pens and markers to create a custom coaster. So the way that this product works is that you can use your Cricut machine or just draw yourself and then transfer onto Cricut's compatible blanks. There's a badge of compatibility, so look for that. There are ceramic coasters, square coasters, t-shirts, and totes. Over in Design Space, I've created two custom coasters. We are going to use the pens to draw on the right, and then I'll introduce you to the Infusible Ink Transfer sheets in the next cut. So I have this coaster designed. You can see that on the right-hand side, they are all indicated as draws. So all of these are draws, and they will draw in the appropriate color since I assigned them all a different color. So let's click Make It. With the Infusible Ink products, you will want to mirror your designs on both the pens and the sheets. So we'll mirror those now. Then click Continue and connect to your machine. For the pens, we're just drawing on laser copy paper, so select copy paper as your material. Your machine will prompt you to load in the pens in the order that it wants you to load them in. So let's do that now. So I have the 0.4 pens as well as the 1.0 markers. We're going to draw with the 0.4 pens in our machine, and then I'm going to use the markers to color it in.
Load your paper on a light grip mat and then load it into the machine. Then insert your pen into the slot A on the left-hand side of your machine. When you're ready, click the flashing C. Once your Cricut begins to draw, it'll prompt you in Design Space to switch out every color that you need for the project. When your project's done, unload your paper off the mat just like this. Next, place it on your scrap piece of paper so that when you color in your design, it doesn't bleed through. Note that the color on your barrel of your pen is the color that it will transfer, not the color that you see on the sheet of paper as you color it in. Once you're done coloring, set your EasyPress using the recommended time and temperature settings found on cricut.com/heat guide. While your EasyPress heats up, let's prep our coaster. Using a lint-free cloth, wipe down the entire surface. Next, we'll grab a sheet of cardstock and place it directly on top of our EasyPress mat to protect it from any unwanted transfers. To attach our design, we'll use heat-resistant tape and secure it all the way around the surface. Once you're done securing, flip it over and place it face down onto your cardstock. Then, using a sheet of butcher paper, cover your coaster. This will protect your EasyPress plate from any ink. Place your EasyPress directly on top of your coaster and start the timer. You don't need any additional pressure for this step. Once the time's up, remove your EasyPress, but do not touch your project. It'll be extremely hot, so use extreme caution. While that cools down, let's prep our next project using our transfer sheets. In Design Space, we'll pick up exactly where we left off with the sheets. So if you're on a Maker, then you'll choose Browse All Materials, and if you're using an Explore machine, choose the Custom setting on your dial, and then choose Browse All Materials. In the search option, type in Infusible and choose Infusible Ink Transfer Sheet and click Done. Here is an Infusible Ink Transfer sheet that I've trimmed down. Now note that the color will transfer a lot brighter than you see before the transfer, and on the back it does say Cricut Infusible Ink. It's a printed ink on the front, so make sure that your hands are dry and free of any moisture when you're handling it, because the ink could actually transfer to your fingers if your fingers are wet. so just make sure to handle those with dry hands. Load your sheet on your mat with the ink side facing up and the liner side down, and then load it into your machine. When you're ready, click the flashing C. Once your machine's done, unload your machine, and then you'll want to unload your material from your mat by flipping your mat over and removing your mat from your material, just like this. So weeding our Infusible Ink Transfer sheet looks a little bit different, so I'm going to walk you through that new process, and we're going to begin by first trimming down our material so that we can use our extra pieces for a future project. To weed my project, I like to begin by gently rolling my transfer sheet to crack the transfer so I can see where the actual cut lines are. And then I like to start from the inside and work out by peeling away my design. Now I did add this extra circle because it'll make it super easy to place it on my coaster. And if I want to use that inverse piece, I can use that for another project. Notice I'm not using any tools to weed. If you do want to use a tool to get those tiny pieces like that little heart, I would recommend using tweezers. We'll prep our EasyPress station the same way as we did last time with cardstock and butcher paper. But before that, let's wipe down our coaster with our lint-free cloth to make sure that it's free of any debris. Then we'll place our design on the coaster with the ink facing down. We don't need any heat-resistant tape for this part because the liner is already sticky. So just make sure to burnish that on so that the design is completely secure. And then place it onto your cardstock. Don't forget to place the design face down and then cover it with your sheet of butcher paper. Visit Cricut.com/heat guide to find the recommended time and temperature for your project. Once again, place your EasyPress directly on top of the stack and start the timer. No need to hold on, and when it's done, remove your EasyPress, but do not touch your project. You can see here that it is completely burnt, so let it cool down completely before reaching in there and grabbing your project. While this coaster cools down, let's reveal our first coaster with our pens and markers. So again, I let this cool off for several minutes before peeling off the tape. So once it's cool, just peel away the tape and get ready for the big reveal. Even though I've made several of these coasters, the reveal is my favorite part because look at that shine. The fact that the marker and pen infuses within the surface and the shine is there, it's magic. I can't get over it. I love it so much. So a little movie magic here. Let's move on to the reveal for our second coaster that I didn't let completely cool, so it's still hot. When you peel back the liner, make sure that you peel both the liner and the sheet of paper that was holding the ink on it and just take in that beautiful coaster.
All right, so we did it. We completed a project with Infusible Ink Pens and Markers. I used the Cricut to draw with the pens on laser copy paper, filled it in by hand with the markers, and transferred on. Then we also have the coaster done with the Infusible Ink Transfer sheets. The transfer sheets come in a variety of different colors. Pink is just my favorite color, so I chose that one. If you have any questions about Infusible Ink or where to buy it, feel free to leave a question or comment below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can watch more how-to videos on all of these fun products. Thanks for watching.